Hello and welcome to Philosophy 100. Oh, wait, that's not right. There I am. That's my dog, Joey, right there. Say hello. Welcome. My name's Kyle. And for this first little video, I just wanted to introduce you all to the syllabus for Philosophy 100 this quarter. Or this semester. Let me share my screen. There we go. All right, so here's the course syllabus on the Canvas page. Hopefully if you found this video, then you found the Canvas page, and hopefully you know how to get around on the Canvas page. So here's how the page looks. There's going to be a little added thing here for the video. I just wanted to go through it. So the course, Philosophy 100, the dates for the course are going to be January 11th through May 8th. The course can be taken at any time because it's online and from anywhere. Woo! There is no textbook. All of the texts that we'll be reading for this semester are going to be online, posted on the Canvas page. I am your instructor, Kyle Dickey. Here is my email address. Feel free to email me asking anything about the course or about philosophy in general. And then I will also be having office hours on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to noon. I'm going to set up a little thing so that you can actually book a time slot with me. I think it's you'll see it eventually. There will be a link here for the Zoom office hours, as well as a link for you to set up a little office hour meeting with me. All right, so let's just get onto it. So what is this course about? Well, so this course is an introduction to philosophy and to basically everything philosophical. You've probably heard of philosophy at this point, but you may never have been really exposed to it. So here we go. We're going to be surveying philosophical questions and arguments from each of the major philosophical disciplines. The main three being ethics, epistemology, and metaphysics. What those are, we'll find out. We're also going to discuss philosophy of mind and philosophy of language near the end of the course. The course is going to be focused on thinking through possible answers to some of the deepest questions that human beings have ever asked. Some things like, what is right and wrong? How do we know anything at all? What is real? And what is it to be me? What is it to be a person? We're not going to be focusing on memorizing facts or figures or dates or anything like that, but instead learning how to think about these issues and how and learning about how other people have thought about these issues in the past. So there's no normal memorization, but there is kind of learning how a theory works and how a person, like what a particular theorist's theory was. There's very few philosophical questions that are sort of out in the world that have obvious answers. And so, and there's not really any like clear-cut way to find the answers to philosophical questions. So we're going to be looking at each of the questions and different various answers that shed different sort of perspectives on how one might go about answering some of these very deep, difficult questions. Now, the structure of the course, this course is going to be divided into 4 sections, each of which gets more and more abstract, right? So we're going to begin with ethics, which hopefully you know a little bit about, right and wrong. And we're going to discuss things that, generally people think matter in life. We're going to talk about some real issues, focusing first on some current events, and then discussing things like life and death, in particular, the case of abortion, I think is one of the more interesting and philosophically rich topics to discuss in ethics. Then we're going to move on to epistemology, and trying to determine what it is, if anything, we can know, right, about or justifiably believe. Like, is there anything that counts as stuff that you know, or is it really all just, stuff that you're pretty sure of and you don't really know it? Third, we'll come to metaphysics, which is the study of reality and what things are and what kinds of things exist. And then how things are fundamentally related to one another, right? So like, what is a chair? It's a thing that's made up of a lot of particles, right? But are those particles just the chair, or is the chair somehow something over and above the particles that it's made up of? And finally, we'll investigate human mind and language, focusing on some issues that arise in the relationship between those two and between our concepts and our concepts of the world, and like how our concepts in the world sort of match up. All right, logistics of the course. So the course is completely online, so everything's going to be posted to the relevant section and week module on Canvas. So there will be weekly modules, and you click on each module for the work for that week. There will be videos, readings, lectures, quizzes, and assignments that for each of the 4 sections of the course. And I suggest that you watch, that you sort of pay attention to everything. Some of the stuff will be optional. Like I'm going to be posting lots of YouTube videos that help you understand some of the material a little bit better. That aren't from me, right? They're just things that I found on YouTube that are really nice and great and helpful. But those, and so many of those things are optional, and I'll sort of post that they're optional, but I do highly suggest that you watch them because they're short and easy and, help you digest the information a lot better. Whereas like the readings for the most part are going to be mandatory. The lectures will be mandatory, and you'll need to read and do the lectures, watch the lectures in order to do well on the quizzes. Each section in the course is going to be approximately 4 weeks long, right? So there'll be, 4-week sections, 16 weeks. That's the long length of a semester. And there's going to be about 12 weekly quizzes to determine your progress, keeping up with the material. So that's 4 quizzes less than there are weeks. So there'll be 4 weeks when you don't have a quiz. And on those weeks, besides the final week of the class, you'll have a paper that's due, I believe. So let's see. Finally, yeah. So there will be 3 papers in the course, and then there will be a final 4th optional extra credit paper for anyone that's going to try to improve their grade at the end of the class. Don't slack off. Don't count on doing the extra credit paper. But if it'll be there if you really need it. All right. How the course assessment's going to be, how the course is getting broken down. So your grade is going to be calculated on how well you do on quizzes, writing assignments, and participation. So the assignments are going to be sort of tracking your understanding of the course material, the videos and lectures and readings. And so you should try to keep up with the materials and watch lectures before you take quizzes. Quizzes are going to be worth 40% of your grade. So that's basically there's 12 quizzes, and I'm going to drop the lowest 2 scores. So that's 10 quizzes. The quizzes vary in length. Mostly, I think so they'll be somewhere between like 8 and 15 questions, all multiple choice. But each quiz, will be worth however many points, and then overall, the quizzes end up coming to 40% of your grade. So take them seriously. There's a 10% late penalty for taking quizzes after their due date, I believe, which should be like, probably on Fridays. There will be 3 writing assignments that will come to a total of 45% of your grade. Each of these writing assignments must be turned in order for you to receive a grade in the class. So you have to turn something in for the writing assignments. I highly suggest that if you don't turn in garbage to take the late penalty if you feel you need to and turn something in late that's better than garbage. So each assignment is going to be an essay guided by a prompt. The essays will be maximum 1,000 words. The topics are going to be chosen from the course material covered in the relevant section of the course, right? So there'll be 1 essay on ethics, 1 essay on epistemology, and 1 essay on metaphysics. They'll all have to do with arguments. They're all going to have to do with like you trying to pick apart and explain an argument and then discuss what you think about that argument, what you think's right about it or what you think's wrong about it. Each assignment will be due 1 week after it's assigned. At least you'll have at least a week to do the assignment. And there will be, again, a 10% late penalty for turning in papers after the due date. Finally, discussion posts. So there's going to be 3 discussion sections for the class. There's going to be a ethics discussion section, an epistemology discussion section, and a metaphysics discussion section. And it'll be part of your grade to be active on those discussion pages. So you're going to be required to make a post for each section and to follow up on other people's posts. And this sort of thing is not going to, I'm not trying to like make it arduous or anything like that. I really want you to like make a post anytime you are confused or interested in something. So anytime there's like something that you come across that's in your own life that relates to the material, or something that you come across that like in the material that you're like, oh, wow, that reminds me of this, then I want you to, make a post and put it up there. And then hopefully people will, take to it and start a discussion. All right, we'll talk more about that later. Finally, so the late policy, this whole course is online. So I recognize that people can get behind pretty easily. And life gets in the way, or you'll forget to do stuff. And so for that reason, I impose this sort of, I think a lenient late policy. It's strict insofar as soon as you turn something in late, you get 10% off. But it's lenient insofar as it allows you to make up, to do things late anytime after they're due. So you can make so if you feel like you're overwhelmed and you don't have time to do a writing assignment, then do it slowly and take the 10% late penalty, right? So the idea is like, don't turn in some garbage paper that's going to get like a C- when you could take a long time writing the paper and get maybe like an A on it and then only lose 10% and you get a B. So that's a better option in the end. Same with the quizzes, right? Don't rush the quiz right before it's due, just because you haven't watched the lectures and stuff and get a bad grade on it. Take the 10% late penalty. That's probably only going to be worth 1 point or something like that. You'll do better on the quiz after having watched the lectures and done the reading. So take advantage of the late policy as best you can. Here are some learning outcomes and learning objectives and the academic honesty statement. Please don't plagiarize. If you plagiarize on an assignment and I catch you, you will fail the assignment. And here's some helpful links, the grade scale, which is pretty normal, and grading criteria. We'll talk more about this when we get to actual assignments. All right, so that's it for today. Please send me emails if you have any questions, and have a nice rest of your week.